Happy 2023, y'all. So I am going to start the year with some good news, and that is I retired in late 2022. I worked in healthcare for 35 years, and the last three have been really, really stressful. I know a lot of you are feeling the same way. The pandemic has been a real challenge, and so I decided, while I have my health, while I can still ride my mountain bike and go hiking, I'm going to go see some things that I've never seen before and take the time to do that while I can. I've gotten a lot of people saying, yeah, you need to do that, and a lot of people should do that. So if you're in the same boat, maybe, think about it. A lot of people said, okay, so what are you going to do next? What are you going to do as part of your retirement? I love being out in my Rpod, exploring the country, taking road trips, and there are 14 national parks left to visit in the lower 48. My bucket list, visit every national park. I'm currently at 40, and there are 63 national parks. And so I'm going to be adding 14 more to the list, and the lower 48 will be all done when I am finished with this trip. I want you all to come along with me on this trip and experience what I'm experiencing. So I'm going to be posting to YouTube and to this channel some of the fun I've been having, some of the challenges I'm having. I'm sure something on the Rpod is going to not work or break or need fixing, and I'll be talking about that as well as we go, and living the life of a full-time RVer for the next 4.5 months as I go around the country. So please come along with me, and for those of you who are already full-timers, I would love it if you left me some advice in the comments. And I've got another several weeks before I head out, and I'll have that time to prep. So please feel free to give me your advice and tell me your experiences. I would love to hear them.
I've planned about 4.5 months for this epic journey. Very soon I'll be heading south through California, and then I'll explore places I've seen before, but take a little bit more time than I have had in the past. For example, Joshua Tree in California, as well as Carlsbad Caverns in New Mexico. I will be staying in the south, heading to White Sands in New Mexico, and then over to Guadalupe Mountains National Park, and then Big Bend National Parks in Texas. After that, I will be heading east through the late winter to Arkansas Hot Springs, and then all the way out to Congaree National Park in South Carolina. I'll be hanging out at the East Coast, seeing the Great Smoky Mountains, Mammoth Cave, Gateway Arch in St. Louis, and then as the seasons turn to spring, I will start heading east again to our newest national park, New River Gorge National Park, and then to Shenandoah National Park in Virginia, heading north to Cuyahoga Valley National Park in Ohio, Indiana Dunes National Park, and then north to Isle Royale National Park, which is very remote, and then Voyageurs National Park in Minnesota. On my way home from Voyageurs National Park, I've got a couple of great options. To national parks I've been to before, I could go to Theodore Roosevelt National Park, to Glacier, or maybe go a little bit south, go to Yellowstone and Craters of the Moon National Monument. Craters of the Moon is one of my favorite places to visit.
In the coming weeks, I'm going to be posting content about how I'm getting ready for this trip. As you can imagine, being a full-time RVer for even any amount of time, but I'm going to be on the road for over 4 months, it takes a fair amount of planning, and it takes a fair amount of forethought about not only the trip that's ahead of you, but the home you're leaving behind, and how are you leaving that for the people who are taking care of your house, your bills, your utilities, all that. There's just a lot to be considered and a lot to prep for. Thank goodness I'm retired and I have time to take care of all these things.
For now, the funnest mod that I've done in prep for my coming epic journey is to rechristen my RV. My Rpod used to be named the Pinecone Inn, and that was in honor of my first teardrop trailer. Now that I'm heading out to fulfill my bucket list of visiting all the national parks, I've renamed my Rpod the Park Hopper. This involved redoing the exterior decals, as well as getting a new spare tire cover, and recovering all of the valances. So I'll talk a little bit about that. Okay, for those of you who want to customize your valances, it's super easy. In an Rpod, there are L-shaped brackets that attach the valances to the wall. Simply remove the screws and the valance will pop off cleanly. Due to the small space behind the valance, you'll probably have to use hand tools to remove the screws. Once the valance is down, I'll talk through the process of replacing the fabric. First of all, you have to take about 1 billion small staples out to remove the fabric on the back of the valance. And then also, I'm going to be reusing this accent piping, this brown, dark brown piping. And so I needed to carefully remove that also. Again, another 1 billion staples to remove. Okay, now that you have successfully removed the accent piping, you simply just set that aside and then recover your valance with the new fabric. Here I'm cutting it, and then I am also making sure that the pattern I want visible on the front of the valance is showing correctly before I staple it onto the valance. So here are the final National Park themed valances. I think they turned out great with the accent piping, and they look great on the wall of the Rpod. I was so inspired that I went ahead and created a new valance that will separate the sleeping area from the cabin, made it feel a little bit more cozy, and hide that TV rail. And the theme is national parks, and so it really helps me get excited for my trip.
Okay, everybody, this retired dude has a long laundry list of things to get done between now and the time I leave. Not only on my Rpod, but also on my tow vehicle and my house. Everything has to be ready. I feel like the universe has set aside this time for me to make this epic journey, this 4.5 month journey to places that I am so anxious to see. And I'm happy to have you all along this journey with me. So, in the coming weeks, I'll be posting more about my prep. And then after that, as the trip gets going, of course, I'll be posting all of that. Please subscribe to the channel if you're interested in following this journey, and feel free to leave comments. Happy to have you along. Until then, everyone, be safe, and we'll see you soon. Take care.